Let's get that energy going. 7-point Sunday. 221-21. A bit of a repetitive number, but a number for the gods. We're back. We were here last Sunday. It was going down. It was a bit of debauchery. We were partying. We were hanging out. We were having fun. If you're not having fun in life, you're never going to win. You can't win money unless you're having fun. You got to balance your life. Anyway, we're back. We're officially in business zone. 8 games on the board today in the beautiful league. We love to cap and we love to bet. And we hopefully love to find the right side at all points in time. J Money is money. I haven't seen you in a week. You've been to hell and back about 10 times over. What's going on, brother?
What's up, my guy? Chilling, man. Chilling. Just trying to maintain, you know what I'm saying? Trying to get back right. Little slow spill there. But everything, I was overthinking, you know what I'm saying? A bunch of stuff. And just trying to get back right, man. Know what these teams are. We're about almost 30 games into the season. Know what everybody is now. Yeah, everybody, we both got the fresh cut. Yeah. Y'all know what's up. We smacked the Clippers the other day, man. Had to. But, yeah, we on the live, man. Y'all know. And Sunday, hopefully, you know what I'm saying, we get a bunch of people watching today. And so hopefully we cash the tickets. That's the only thing that matters. You dig what I'm saying? It's the only thing that matters. But like you say, man, just trying to this is the league that we like to make money with, man. So it has been some crazy stuff yesterday. You know, Steph Curry went out last minute, man. They said the illness. I don't know. It kind of like he had the boo-boo walk to me, man. Kind of like he may have had a little accident or something, man. Had to go back there. It looked pretty crazy. Right before tip, Steph out. You know what I'm saying? What up, Nets Bets? What's up, Jared? JT Trade. Smiley, I see you, my guy.
Nets Bets in New Jersey with his sick whip. Getting that gas, I believe.
What kind of whip he got? What kind of whip Nesbitt's got?
Fresh, man. I was looking at it. I thought the interior, and also a very cute dog. I mean, if you don't have a cute dog, what kind of alpha male are you? You got to balance the big energy with the cute little dog, right, Jen?
Man, this dog here, talk about hell and back. The dog has been the one that's taking me there, but nah, he cool. Hey, we're gonna get him right, my guy. What's up, man? What's that cool kill? My man Jay, Mr. T with the chains, man. Trying to. What's up, Sam Culver? What's up, man? Let's get to it. We got this early game. Might as well 3:30 Eastern, 2:30 Central spot. The Celtics versus the Pelicans, man. Celtics hadn't looked right in neither one of these early start games, bro. I mean, it's tough. What do you think, bro? I know you like to think that. So you think that they come out here focused in this game, that they know that they hadn't played well in these early spots. They come down to New Orleans here. Be interested in Steven Adams play. What you like here?
Off the bat, I don't know if I'm going to call this, the top play on the board. I was making a couple of comments to people last night. 3:30 p.m. is an abstract environment before you even look at the teams. They're not used to playing in the middle of the afternoon. This is not WNBA basketball, 11 p.m. or 11 a.m. on a Tuesday morning. It's professional basketball 2021 campaign. And ultimately, when you look at this, you do see Boston. You go straight back in the schedule. I believe it was just 2 weeks ago, maybe. They played at Phoenix in a matinee, and they were a 3-point underdog, actually, which is interesting. But, of course, Phoenix is graded a lot more heavily than New Orleans currently. And they lost by, I think, 9 points, 100-91, in a really lackluster effort overall. The total was a dud. The game had no pace. Shooting efficiency was horrendous. And, of course, the Celtics did not cover. I am leaning New Orleans here because I just look at the figure. And, of course, early season, you and I made the comment numerous times, it was very public where the number didn't really matter. It was more so just an eye test, who's better on this, who has a better roster. When you start to look at what's been happening, you've come back. You were 7-0 the other day. I've obviously been crushing it now for 3.5 weeks. The numbers do matter. And when you see a Boston team here who is heavily weighted long-term and small window, only laying 2.5 points to a team who's 12-17 and highly inconsistent, it is a very short figure for Boston. It is a trap. It is Joe Public's side. Guinness draft, 3:30 p.m., getting drunk in the pub. Most obvious shit in the world. I don't think so. And when you really look at how New Orleans has functioned on primetime TV, not, again, in the afternoon, but 8 p.m. TNT national games, Bucks is the corollary. They were a short-figure dog to the Bucks. You get the East contender. You come in there down south in Louisiana. Shout out to Make Money. I see you. What's up, First Lady of Gambling Twitter. And I think you're going to get a New Orleans victory here today.
Got you. Yeah, hey, the Pelican spot is a nice, but like I say, the Celtics, they just don't seem. We do know that they're an East Coast team. They just don't seem to play well, man, in the early spots. I'm sure they're looking at that, but still, here favored on the road. The Pelicans looking to get back on track here. Like you say, home dog. It's not a bad spot for the Pelicans. I don't. It's not a spot that I'm looking at. I know that the Knicks. I mean, I know that the Celtics are. They know that they hadn't played well in these games. It's always seemed like a player's out, in or out. But the thing with the Pelicans are they got to get right on defense, man. They better come to play defensively here because the one thing I say the Celtics are much better defensive squad. We know Tatum and Brown can get going pretty much at any time. Walker as well. Their bigs hadn't been particularly well with Tristan Thompson. And you know what I'm saying? So their center, Tyson Thompson, is you really can get to the hole however you want. So that's really a big advantage for the Pelicans there. Zion should absolutely feast. I know we always try to throw some props in there. Zion should absolutely feast in this game, if you ask me. Be interested. Yeah. Steven Adams is questionable, kind of doubtful in this game. Could possibly give it a go. Just something interesting to see there. If Adams doesn't play, their defense does. For the Pelicans get a lot worse. They hadn't been playing enough defense, in my opinion, for me to take them right now. I know that if I'm taking the Pelicans, it's pretty much a clear fade of Celtics in this early spot. If I'm taking them, Celtics, if they bring the defense here, it's just too many. This is a clear toss to me, man. It really is, and especially me not knowing Adams in there for sure. Adams in, I could definitely say that Pelicans, you know what I'm saying, at the house is valuable. I must say, without Adams, it's a different ball game, guys. It really, it really is.
I don't think I'm going to go nuts with this one. I'm not going to drop 100K max bomb Vegas Dave units here, but I think New Orleans would be the lead. I'm going to go through it a little bit deeper, post an official card on Twitter in about 2.5 hours. So be ready for that. Anyway, let's go to the 7 p.m. card. We have 6 games. We go first. I think let's go to the Street Gambler game here. We go at Cleveland, Quicken Loans Arena. No fans, no LeBron James, no energy, but Colin having Sexton. And what you look at here is you get Oklahoma City in a really funky spot, laying points on the road out of conference. Did you have anything on this one?
Yeah, bro. I like OKC in this spot, man. Look, I'm gonna tell you, man. So this is one thing that I know for sure. And so on the last game, it's not that I'm on the Celtics. It's just the way that I'm looking at the game. I really do think Steven Adams is a huge part in the game right now for me to be betting on it. Until he's in or out, I couldn't feel comfortable betting on the game. But Celtics have been a clear fade in these early spots, so that's why I'm definitely not on it. The Cavs, I'm just seeing a bunch of people, some of my sharp guys on the Cavs today. I understand it. It could be a spot for OKC. This is one for me though. I don't care. The Cavs haven't shown any fight for me. You look at their last few games. I mean, they've lost pretty much all of them by double digits. You could one way you could look at that they're 0-12 ATS the last 12. They did cover one versus the Suns there. They sat Chris Paul out. I mean, they almost pissed them away. Me and the Shark were on that one, so we're glad that they covered that one. You see what I'm saying? But the closing number 5.5, they didn't. So you kind of look at Cavs 0-12 ATS. They've been showing no fight. The defense, they're last in the league in defense last 5 games. There's just no buy on this team whatsoever. Okay, see, they're off 3 straight losses. Now this could be, I'm gonna tell you straight up, this could be a tankathon type game. One of these teams, in my opinion, are going to lose this game on purpose. And I looked at one of the OKC beat writers, and he kind of mentioned something about it. I'm like, damn, why is the OKC beat writer saying something about it? So don't get it twisted. Nothing's guaranteed here. And I feel like if OKC if they sit a couple of players out, then it'll really show something here. If OKC full squad here, the way that they play defense, in my opinion, I don't think that there's slim chance that the Cavs could win this game, in my opinion, if everybody plays for OKC. I did take OKC, man. I like them here. They play much harder than the Cavs. Like I say, the only thing they can see over here is OKC probably rest some players. But if SGA and Horford play and they're playing full squad, yeah, OKC here versus the Cavs. Cavs are the worst team in the league. I have power rated right now.
When I look at this game, I look at giving you credential to that 100%. I do look at the other side of this. And when you look at that cluster of losses for Cleveland, it's almost all contenders, all of them. And the last time they won a game was actually a home game against none other than a shitty Western Conference team that we call the Minnesota Timberwolves, 100-98 in their home gym. Here's the key point, too. We talked about this last week, line functionality as dogs and favorites as it correlates to 100 games in a full sample. When you look at Oklahoma City, they do function much better as a dog long term, particularly on the road. And Cleveland in that game did not cover the spread. They were -3.5. So when Cleveland is averaged out to a 2 to 4 point window versus the money line on either side, they've proven that they're going to win the game, but they might not cover as a favorite. And I think just as a general regression pointing, it's a similar team. And again, understanding numbers are the analytics of behavioral actions and frequencies. I think they're going to come up here today, and I think they win this game. And I think, again, this losing streak is not really representative of being just like a G League squad. If you really look at who they played a lot of the better teams in the league. I think I will be playing Cleveland here at +2.
Got you. Hey, I couldn't talk you out of it, man. I couldn't talk you out of it, but I like OKC in this one, man. Like I say, the Cavs just they could cover this game, guys. Nothing's guaranteed, but there's just no way that they could give our money right now. I'm watching these, not watching the games too much, but Cavs are absolutely not showing any fight. You remember we talked about it about a week ago, him, Sexton and Allen fighting. They're just not getting along together. I remember there was a time where I really thought the Cavs were a playoff team. Man, maybe they could get it going at some point. I'm sure they're pissed. I mean, they've lost 6 straight games. They've been pretty much terrible, even though the games that they're playing, they've been just getting smacked, man. When you let Jamal Murray go for 50 on you like that, so in theory, they're pissed off after getting smacked like that. But each of these games, they've been pretty much non-competitive in, man. Like literally, the fight in the Cavs is not there anymore. Even in some of these games, they could have had some spots. So I understand the Cavs are the sharp spot here, but I guess this is one where I'm going a little square, like OKC -2.5. You want to talk about this Pistons versus Magic spot? Pistons here without their starting point guard, DeLon Wright. He's out for 2 weeks. Magic line up to 2. Would you like anything in this game?
Oh, man. I mean, I want to take Orlando as just a large-scale buy. Obviously, they were a playoff team last year, 2 years in a row, and they came out terribly. We said this last week. We say it every day. When you find teams that really come out in a sustained cluster of losses, they're going to come up to their average, and they're going to cluster wins to get there because they have to. It's just numbers. That being said, as I made the comment about the Boston figure, this is a really short number for Orlando. They should be laying 3.5 to 4 here minimum. And the books are trying to tell you something. They're trying to tell you that the Magic come in here off 2 convincing wins. They just beat the Warriors at home. And you get Detroit. When you look on the other side of the aisle here, Detroit has been really scrappy on the road in these type of games outside of the division. We had them correctly at Boston in an outright win, 108-102, going back a week and a half. And really, when I look at this number, I just think that even though Orlando is supposed to cluster wins, I think this is an emotional letdown. And I think this is definitely a bit of a buy spot for Detroit here today.
Gotcha. The Pistons always play hard, man. I can't tell you that. That's one team where you can't look at their record. They play like this team is one of those teams where you can't necessarily have them power rated just by their record. They play so hard, even though they're missing Wright here to start point guard, which I do think it might take a hit. It may not take a hit here, but in the long run, in this midst of this 2 weeks, the Pistons will go on a downswing without DeLon Wright. Just believe me when I tell you they could. It may not be in this game, though. Like, I don't have a play on this game. I'm staying away from a true toss-up game like my guy says there. Could off that Warriors game. I mean, they almost pissed the game away, then came back and won. Could be a true letdown spot. I'm looking at the lineups, and I'm like, man, you know what? The Pistons could really hang in this game. They really can score in this one. Like I say, everything I was looking at obviously was with the Pistons having Wright. So this is going to be their first game in a while. First game after, you know what I'm saying? It's going to throw some things around here. Be interesting to see who just going to have to come in the starting lineup. What you going to say?
No, I was going to say one large scale comment about today's board. I go through this all the time, and I don't post multiple unit bets on Twitter. I do change how much I actually bet based on the value of the game. I just don't want people to go nuts and over mortgage and go broke on a game just because I say it. That being said, sometimes there's a lot of games that have a lean but are not absolute ringers. So you go a little bit less and you play more sides. And this kind of reminds me of that type of board. Like I have probably 5 solid leans today and not really one absolute lockdown type of ringer play today. So I just think this is as a market evaluation for today's card.
Got you. Yeah, Sundays, man. I've always seen some of the craziest stuff on Sundays, to be honest with you, man. It's really crazy that some of the crazy shit I have seen Like I said, I only made one play today. It was thunder up, man. Might have to drive to OKC to the casino real quick. I like doing a little superstitious shit, so I might like drive up there to OKC, man, real quick to the casino. It's a little lake right there. You know what I'm saying? Red River. Go to a little spot right there off the right there by the border. Might have just crossed this line real quick. Go to Oklahoma real quick. You know what I'm saying? Just want some good luck. But hey. We got this 76 guys in the chat. Who said, Andrew, what's up, Netsbet? Jay told me that a while ago. Sunday's Bazaar. Netsbet, you already know, bro. 76ers versus Raptors, bro. Damn good spot here. In theory, revenge spot for the Raptors. Raptors seem like they've been on the upswing here. +3 dog at the house. They may not have Lowry. They've been really good without Lowry. What do you think in this spot? Can the Raptors get some revenge, or does Philly continue to have their number?
When I first looked at the card, I didn't go deeply at all. I saw this number. I wanted nothing to do with it. I thought it was very sharp. Then I went back and I saw what happened in the third game of the season, maybe the second. 193 Philly in Philly on a 2.5. And I always talk about this. When you see a revenge game and you see how the line should correlate to home versus away, when Philly's -2.5 at home and then they go on the road where theoretically Toronto should be pissed and they lay more points, this line is speaking to Philly. And when you look at what's been happening here, Toronto comes in here off of a 3-0 straight up and 3-0 ATS road trip. They did backdoor the Wolves pretty egregiously in the last game. And one other comment on fading Toronto here. This will be their 5th game of the week. Dating back to last Sunday, this is the 5th game in 7 days. And, of course, Philly started the season pretty damn hot. They've been pretty cold. They played, I think, 6 or 7 straight poor games. They were pretty fortunate to beat and cover the Kings, and they've played a bunch of lackluster ATS spots since. I think this is a come-up spot for Philly. I think the number correlates, and I think it's definitely a letdown fatigue spot given that 5 and 7 7-day sample for Toronto.
Yeah, and we know the Raptors not really playing in their regular home gym as well. They will be playing down there in Tampa Bay for the rest of the season. So they do have, and they really struggled early in the season, man. They really struggled to adapt to that. Obviously, I mean, they were staying in literally a whole nother country, a whole nother, you know what I'm saying? And they were in Canada, in Toronto, and then now you have to stay down here. You got to go through all this with the families and stuff. So it's a lot they were going through. They're starting to play a lot better, but like my guy says, it's a really tough fatigue spot for them. And not even that, the 76ers match up well with, I mean, period. They just the 76ers have the scores there. They have the defense that can match up with the Raptors. But I mean, this is one game without Larry that they need those flops out there. They need those charges against Ben Simmons out there. Full squad to go for the Sixers. Like the Sixers in this spot, I believe it's went up for a reason. My guy said line too low. It opened at 1.5, went up to 2. Man, it's up to 3 now. My guy, it's it's not low. My guy, that's what zoned up says, but not beat. Like I say, full squad to go. 76ers is the play here, my guy.
Jay, the key point is people have to go back to the previous matchup and understand weighting these teams. They had them at 2.5 at home. And when a team goes on the road and lays more points where the other team is in a revenge spot and should be even more heavily weighted, it's really telling you a good story here for Philly.
Exactly. Yep. And then the spot as well, like you say, the 5th and 7 is always going to be a really tough spot. They were just in this. I think the last time they were in a 6th and 9th spot, but regardless, they took the L. Like I say, man, these 76ers in this spot. I might have to get down on Philly, my guy. What you thinking? We like it there. If it's fit, you know what I'm saying, 5th and 7 for.
I think, to be honest with you, I think it's the best line on the board because it's the only game we have to look at here that I believe has a previous matchup. All these are the first matchup of the year, I believe, other than this game.
Yeah, I was waiting to see what's up with Larry because I know that line will you know what I'm saying, flip either way. I do know that he's closer to doubtful, but the Raps. So these boys have played. So their 9 out of 10 games have been away. You know what I'm saying. The time that they came back to the house, they lost to the Timberwolves. So this is their first game back. Man, boy, these boys been all over the place, man. Really tough. Yeah, it's a tough spot for them boys, man.
I think Sixers.
I'm gonna have to get. I gotta put some on Philly. I gotta hop on them on something, man. This is a terrible spot. So look, if Larry does play, then the line will go back down. So I'm probably 2.5, 2 probably. That's what I was waiting on. That's what I'm waiting on.
I mean, you had the Bulls last game at +8, and you covered by a point, right? And that's a snapshot of how Philly has functioned against the spread in the last 2 weeks. They have not been very good.
Yeah, Simmons didn't play either. I
Yeah.
had him 8.5, and it was a sweat. I'm sitting there looking at it. It was kind of a sweat. Like I don't. A lot of the games, bro, I won't even watch it. Like if I got money on it, I won't even watch. I might record it and watch it later, but I don't need to watch it. To get the score is the only thing that matters. So it'd be a sweat just for me looking at my phone. But they was about to. Then they got it close again. Needed Zach LaVine and B went for 50, but Simmons didn't play. So Simmons didn't play. So look. Sharp, the late spread, there was another one, bro. The same shit went down to 6.5.
Yeah.
So if you took, they won by 7. If you took Philly late with the 6.5, you cash. You know what I'm saying? If you took the what's called late, you didn't cash. So that's a tough one there. That's a tough
Sharp
one,
line.
guy.
I mean, professional basketball, sharp line. Particularly the totals. Totals.
Eric Jones telling me don't do it. He think Raptors lock city. I'll be honest. Early this morning, I wasn't looking towards this. I know that they are the better team. I know the Raptors been playing a lot better. It's just them boys. Yeah, it's a terrible. It's not a good spot for them.
We go to the streets of Manhattan, 34th and 8th Avenue, I believe, Madison Square Garden. Minnesota Timberwolves come in here, and before we go into the numbers of this game, I think a side narrative, which is very interesting. Obviously, Tibbs did coach the Wolves. D. Rose played for the Wolves. Do you think there's an emotional incentive there for the Knicks to really show out here tonight?
What you say one more time, man? I'm sitting here looking at this 76er spot still, man. I know you're talking about this Knicks versus Timberwolves spot, but I thought you was finna say what you liked in it, my guy.
As a Knicks fan, I can't let you talk about the Sixers too much. I mean, get the fuck out of here.
Man, I'm talking about betting on it. I'm trying to get this money. I'm trying to get this money. No, I think 76ers gonna get it done, man. Full game, because like you say, I've been lackluster. If I need Simmons should be back here. It should be full go, man. It's time to they gonna go. They gonna come to play, especially after Raptors didn't own them the past years. Doc Rivers will say we're not losing to them. You see what I'm saying? We gotta own y'all ass now. We got a much better team. I'm sprinkling on Philly. I don't know them.
Another point on that regarding the Raptors game, you have to look at how the books graded them in these top Eastern Conference matchups for the revenge spots, and look at what they did against Milwaukee, right? Against Milwaukee, they actually got the short number on the road. Milwaukee laid 6 points in Tampa. Of course, that is Toronto, effectively. And then they came home, and they laid 6. And we said it. We weren't live last week, unfortunately, due to an apocalyptic ice storm in Oklahoma.
Oh, for real.
But we did say it to ourselves privately that when you lay 6 on the road and you come back and lay 6, that needs to be coming up to 8, 8.5. And sure enough, they lost both. And this is the same thing here. Philly laid 2.5 at home. They go on the road, they lay more. When Toronto is involved, it seems like the books have a good read on where Toronto's moving numerically, and they're telling you a story. Some teams, the line doesn't matter. Some teams, it does. And I think Toronto's one of those teams. Exactly.
You say, hey, you're exactly right on that one. Not to harp on that one too much, guys, but I was just really, you know what I'm saying? Like, I got to I'm on Philly a little bit here. And I kind of missed it because it was at 2 last night. It was at 1.5, 2. But you know what I'm saying? It's cool. That 3 is, if the Timberwolves can go in there and win by 4, like the 76ers. But yeah, the Knicks versus, man, I was really close to taking the Knicks today here. We got Thibodeau facing his old team. I know the Timberwolves have been playing a lot better. I'm a lot higher on the Timberwolves than most are. And even with that, I still think that the Knicks, their defense is a lot better here. It's just what you think in this spot. They are I really wish they had Mitchell Robinson in this game so he could go against Camp, but obviously he's still out.
I wanted to take Minnesota because I think the number is a little short for the Knicks. It's very similar to Orlando laying a short figure to Detroit. I think Detroit is the side there, as we said before. But when I look at what the Knicks do at home, they are sustainably incredible in the first half, first quarter. And, when you look at particularly off of interesting road environments, you go back and you see a game like the last game they just played. They came out and played a good first half and just totally melted in the second half. The last time they did that on the road, it was at Utah, and they won the first half outright and then got obliterated and backdoored by Utah. Utah covered that game, and then they came home. And at that point, we didn't really know who the Knicks were in this environment. And I was like, okay, that was a demoralizing loss off a road trip. They might just come out flat, and they did not. They came out juiced up, and this is just what they do. And sometimes you find really good trends with teams, and it's an emotional thing. They have a good group of guys. They focus in certain situations, a good coach, and they come in here off of a brutal loss. They played a terrible second half, And of course, they do get that element, which maybe does stand for more than the average game with Thibodeau and D Rose here coming back against Minnesota.
Exactly. Yeah, I know Cat. I know he's gonna have some. I know he's gonna have some revenge coming here versus Thibodeau. But my thing here is, even though the Timberwolves have been playing really nice, it's been the exact thing. They haven't been able to close. Like I kind of like the Timberwolves team, man. I be watching Anthony Edwards. I mean, the dunk that he did, I was watching it. I don't know. I kind of watched because nobody's really looking at that team, so I kind of have a good feel on them, man. I know Cat's gonna come to play here. He's still kind of banged up. He's still not all the way there. They still missing Russell. Rubio kind of stepping in, but he's not that prolific scorer. The Knicks, they had extra rest, man. They off their loss versus they had a 2-game win streak at the house, 2 really good games, I might add, versus the Rockets and then Hawks. Then they go on the road versus the Magic. The Magic were just ready to smack their ass in that way. You see what I'm saying? They were ready to smack. Now they back home off what 3 days off practicing, steaming over the loss.
Yeah.
I was really close to taking the Knicks here, man. I really, you know what I'm saying? I was thinking about Towns, the revenge here coming versus Thibodeau, but the Knicks had a better team. They had a better offensive team and defensive team right now. Timberwolves been playing better defense, but I don't think so in this game, man. I really don't think they'll get it done here, man.
You know, we missed that game at home where we took Houston and we faded the Knicks. And we said it was a short line for the Knicks. I think Houston was actually favored by 1 point in that game. We said Houston should not be favored here. And the Knicks blew them out. And there's another home game where the Knicks blew out the Cavs on a similar line, real short number. And it seems like the books are kind of grading the Knicks almost like the NFL, where they're not really adjusting the numbers. They're just saying, okay, we had the Knicks graded a certain way before the season, and we're just throwing out lines as if it's still 2 months ago. They haven't really adjusted to the Knicks. The Knicks should be laying like 4.5, 5 in this game, given their trends at home and just the situational dynamic. They're not. And again, I was talking to somebody last night about the NFL, and the NFL capping is not numerical because again, they grade these teams in July, and you're still getting the same freaking line in November. And in the NBA, sometimes they don't adjust the lines. I think the Knicks are still getting short lines in these spots. It's just an unadjusted average from the preseason.
Exactly. I mean, this game was such a toss. You got so many angles in this. Yeah, it's a revenge. Somebody in the chat say it's Thibodeau revenge too. Yeah, you're right. You're right about that, man. But the Knicks had a better team, man. They are, in my opinion, they are a play. I really do believe that the Knicks are a playoff team this year, my guys. The way that they've been playing, they're awful. Like I want to look towards them off the loss, man. I was really close to. I might sprinkle some on the Knicks. I can't tell you this is a game Mitchell Robinson they're gonna miss. Like it would be really nice to have Mitchell Robinson to match up against Cat out there, and and that line probably would be a tick up. Like they know because the Knicks gonna play a little bit different. That's why they couldn't guard Vujic. That's why the Magic tore them up, because that was a game where they had the bigs to really, you know what I'm saying, stifle them boys inside, man. So, and even the Knicks were still in that game in the first half. So it's a crazy game, man. It was definitely a toss. One I went to, it was another one where it could go either way. It was a lean on the Knicks for me, but I could make cases for the Timberwolves. I could, man. What's up? This other one, man. We got the Nuggets versus Hawks. Sorry, it's a tough game here, bro. Bro, it's a bunch of injuries for the Nuggets here. I know that the Hawks, I'm gonna tell you, I don't want to put money on the Hawks. I really don't. I don't think that they're a bet on team right now. I do think they're on like that bottom 10, the bottom half, because there's just not. When they won versus Boston, they needed calls, bro. Like the refs had to help them out in that game. That game was an anomaly. Trust me, bro. I watched it. It was a bunch of BS. But anyway, the Nuggets got too many injuries here, bro. Jermichael Green, Harris. What you got?
I think you're making great points immediately. It's a really tough game to pick because Atlanta, and I keep making the comments on Twitter. If you guys don't follow me on Twitter, look at the name Sharks and Sports. Dial it in, follow Sharky Waters Nation right away we got out of the water. But these young teams, Steph Curry was their hero. I mean, it's a small window, but it's only 6, 7, 8 years, 10 years. These guys were like 7 or 8 years old when Steph got into the league, some of these guys. So they started shooting threes. And again, shooting threes, man, it's a gift. It's a gift. Like, Steph has trained harder. Don't get me wrong. He's trained harder. He's trained longer. He's trained more efficiently. There's still a gift. You're not the greatest of all time without a gift, right? And but these teams like the Hawks, the Wolves, Grizzlies, Kings, those are 4 that are super young and shoot a lot of threes, and they're super volatile. And you look at the games and you're just like, okay, I'm going to bet this side tonight. It's probably the right number long term, but they're going to shoot 35, 43s, and they might shoot 25% and lose by 25 points. That's exactly what happened with Memphis last night. And Atlanta does this. They did this last year. They did it the year before. They cluster. They go off the chain and just shoot lights out, blow somebody out like they did against Brooklyn 3 times. And then you'll see a game where they score 101 points and they can't hit the broadside of a barn. And when you look at this game, Denver kind of fits the model of a lot of the short line favorites that came in at Atlanta in the West and did cover. I believe the only real contenderish spot that Atlanta covered at home was against the Lakers, 107-99. And when it comes down to it, I just can't take a side in this game. There's not much going on.
God, yeah, bro. The Nuggets are 1-5 against the spread in their last 6 road games. Their one win was against the Cavs, and I knew that they were going to smack the Cavs there. Why? Because the Cavs are just not giving any energy right now whatsoever. Anybody can go in there that wants to and smack them, like no lie, anybody. So I mean, you think about it, the Cavs had just lost to them by damn near 40 points, and they showed no sight of just wanting to smack them. They let Jamal Murray go off for 50. 21 of 25. Jamal Murray created history against the ass, man. Like, seriously. But they got the Nuggets here off that game. This is the last game of the 4-game road trip. They've only went 1-2 so far. So they do want to end the road trip with the win. I can't tell you, when I started seeing the injuries yesterday piling up, I said, oh my God, this is going to be a tough one, because JaMychal Green, he's one of those guys off the bench, or really he's been starting now. So you got Paul Millsap, he was already out. So JaMychal Green's in the starting lineup, power forward. Now what happened? Now Michael Green's out. Now Gary Harris is out. The boys are really banged up over there. I really don't want to put money on Atlanta here, but last night I was looking at Atlanta, the Hawks money line. It's a spot where the Hawks could sleep at the house. Yeah, they only won 2 of their last 10 games. Man, it's just the Hawks are really not a bet on team to me. It's a tough game, laying Hawks. What was you about to say?
If I had to play the side numerically, I'm taking the Hawks 100%. It's a short number for Denver. They should be laying 4.5, 5.5 here roughly. But again, as I just said, you're at the mercy of this just ridiculous disparity between just heater field goal percentage or almost nothing. And I just don't know. I can't back it. It's just nothing.
Bro, the Hawks have owned the Nuggets lately. I'm just looking at it. They're 8-2 ATS the past 10 games against the Nuggets. Like, that's something. So, you know what I'm saying? Before the last game, the January 6th, 2020, whatever, Nuggets going, the line was -7 for Nuggets. In Atlanta, they win 123-115. They barely covered, something by 1 point. Before that, the Hawks were 8-1 ATS against the Nuggets, literally. Like, in the media, I just think that's crazy right there. For some reason, I guess maybe just they don't take them. We know how the Nuggets are. They just don't take some teams serious.
Yeah.
Lean to the Hawks, man. So this,
I look a little bit deeper at that to see if it's a sustainable trend, because obviously 10 games does really tell you a damn good story. But sometimes it will come back a little bit. And again, there's the secondary element, which is looking within this season, where Atlanta is in this particular window, and Denver on the back end of a road trip. And Denver was lackluster for a few games. They could keep coming. I just don't know. I gotta look deeper at that one.
Yeah, it's a total. I'm gonna tell you, the Hawks was a lean for him, but like I say, they are not a bet on team to me. It's a nice spot for him, but boy, it's tough to. That's definitely one where I wouldn't watch. I'm betting on that game, man.
You don't like that at all. That's gonna be runs 100%. It's gonna be so stressful.
Two more, my guy. If that's cool with you, you cool. Next 2 more games. We just talking shit, shooting. You know what I'm saying? Just talking how we would look at the games. Yeah. Huge game here, bro. Nets versus Clippers. And then you remember that the Clippers went down versus the Nets over there in Brooklyn. You know what I'm saying? 24-120. You remember that game? I think you liked the over. Nelwyn end up going over. Now we got the Clippers here. Open up at 5, up to 6.5, bro. Do you agree with the line move?
It's funny. I didn't look at this game in much detail. When there's 8 games, 10 games, 12 games, I try to just kind of look at the board loosely and say, okay, what games do I want to involve myself with? When I saw the Nets here at 5.5, 6 without Kevin Durant, and obviously the Clippers coming off of a huge win against Utah, which you had correctly, it was a great spot. You just get a total merge dynamic here. I really just don't like this game to bet at all. And I always make the comment, the more the bigger the game, the later in the playoffs, the Super Bowl effectively is usually the sharpest graded. You get the best teams, the most efficient teams, therefore the most consistent towards the average they're expected to be by books. I think this game is very sharply graded.
Exactly. Yeah, man. This over and under opened up at 240.5 down to 235.5. So, and we know with this, the last game, if I'm not mistaken, Nets had KD in their game. They ended up getting the job done over the Clippers. I do think that the Clippers full squad are like, so starting five, in my opinion, the Clippers have the best starting five. I don't care about the numbers, anything with, you know what I'm saying? Right now, I know the Jazz been balling everything. Starting lineup, starting five. And that's how sometimes numbers can kind of be skewed because they hadn't been at starting full strength the whole, especially without Patrick Beverley. Best starting five across the board in the NBA, 1 through 5, in my opinion. Best start five. So this is a game where I'd be looking towards the under, man, especially with no KD. That's definitely going to hurt. You look at the Nets. They've been locking down on defense ever since that Detroit Pistons game, and Kyrie, you know what I'm saying? Kyrie Irving and James Harden went into, they got it. They circled around you. Hey, you're the point guard. I'm the shooting guard, all that. They locked up on defense, man. I mean, we can't say that they don't play any defense anymore. This is going to be like a championship NBA finals type game. Yeah. I'd lean to the under in this spot. They kind of missed. I mean, lost 5 point of value, but this could be one. And it's his second matchup as well. They kind of know what each other want to do, kind of know the plays, know how the offense are going to run. Yeah. Clippers could have a letdown offensively as well, but the defense is coming. That's for damn sure. Defense is gonna be there today, man. I don't think you're gonna get that super fast pace. Last one, bro. Kings versus Bucks, my guy. Did the Bucks? I know you don't want. I know it's tough, bro. In all honesty, though, man, I don't know why the Bucks are still laying double digits. It's the exact. I think if everybody's in, I'm taking Kings. I don't care.
Oh man, These two teams have burned me more than any teams the last 2 weeks. And it was funny when they both tanked the other night. I made a comment like, I can't believe these two squads play each other on Sunday night. How ironic. So for me, like, as much as I try to be logical and not function on any sort of emotion, when two teams both have cost me a ton of money and they're playing each other, I am just so far away from this game. Like, no matter what happens, I can't even be – if I make over $1,000 in this game, it still wouldn't make me happy. So I'm nowhere near this game. And I can watch, maybe crack a bottle of wine Sunday night and relax and kind of laugh at the comedy of these teams' futility over the last couple of weeks and just enjoy the late game on this particular Sunday.
Man, the Bucks have been horrible, man. They 1-5 ATS last 6 games, last 5 with a day of rest. I mean, they are coming off their cover versus. So the Kings have just not. It's just been so terrible, man. I couldn't. They're 0-6. Straight up in ATS last 6. Before that, they were hot. They were 4-0 straight up in ATS. So I mean, it's like they're so Jekyll and Hyde. They were dealing with a bunch of injuries. I'll give them that. They weren't playing with the same squad continuity. So I will kind of give them that. But at some point, you have to, and this is the thing about watching the game. You're seeing where mentally the players are. They're not really fighting out there because like guys like Fox, he can keep his team in the game, but when they're just not really caring out there, they're just out there playing basketball. It's just something you guys have to pay attention to because that shit above everything. Well, I mean, the numbers, no matter what, you have to pay attention to that. If this team is these are professional players. Some of them just go out there and play, really collecting their checks. The Timberwolves are doing it early in the season, but then they'll go through a stretch where you know what I'm saying? But it's all about stretches, man. Yeah. It's all about stretches. But in this particular game, man, if the Kings get Barnes, and if they get Barnes and who's the starter at Holmes back, if they get those two back, the two starters they need, I'll be taking the points in this one, man. The Bucks, they just faced the Thunder, who are the exact opposite. They played really good defense, but they couldn't score to keep up with the Bucks. This is why the game was so low scoring. Now you got the Kings, who they can shoot a bunch of threes. It's all about if they're gonna make them, like you said. I know you don't want to reiterate on this, but this is a spot where I'm not taking the Kings. I'm not taking the Bucks in another smash spot.
I would make a comment. I think the over here probably is the side. I do recall I haven't looked at it today. It's off the top of my head. I believe the last couple times the Bucks have played the Kings in Milwaukee, the games were very high scoring. And I think when you get Sacramento coming in here off of a couple really awful shooting performances, this is 2 in a row. They couldn't shoot against Miami. They couldn't shoot against Chicago last night. It was really disgusting. they're due to come up. I mean, inevitably they're going to regress to a higher average here in a small window. And I think the Bucks. I mean, you made the comment just right now. Oklahoma City, there was an extremely low-scoring game. That game was under 200 points total, and they're going to play a totally different style of ball tonight. Milwaukee wants to get up and down. I think when Milwaukee plays their best ball, even against contenders, they want to open it up. They want to run. They want to shoot threes. They want to get space for Giannis to be able to drive ultimately. And I just think, particularly another point off of the back-to-back scenario for Sacramento, less defense is probably more, obvious than a defensive battle. So I would lean over here if I had to.
And the line, and hey, did somebody agree with you out there, man? It's been pounded up from 235 to 238.5, man. Yeah. So they liking it over there, man. That's one of them where, I mean, sometimes you got to look at where that money going as well, man. Somebody say 238 too high. Hey, it was at 235. It's got bit up to that. Eric Jones say he liked the under. James Brown say no D. King's D is just awful. Yeah, betting the Bucks is worse than pulling out your nose. This guy here, man. Yeah, both teams has been missile, but hey, one of them got to cover, man. One of them got to cover. So hey, but we
high scoring like 134, 126. Like I could see this just absolutely blowing up tonight.
I could see the Kings upsetting the Bucks. I really could.
I could see
I could really see it tonight.
I would just be a little bit worried that
full squad though only.
Milwaukee was super cold, right? Super cold. They're due to come up. And again, I think the over is better because I think that when they come up, it might not be ATS covers on big numbers, but it might be just because they score a lot more efficiently. And I think the Kings as well should shoot the basketball better. I think this is actually a very good over. I might play this myself.
You know what I'll do if I'm the Kings? You run the zone here. You run the zone and you let Giannis shoot whatever he wants, wherever he wants. I don't care if it's 20 feet out from the basket. You let Giannis shoot. You put all five guys. So you're in a tight zone. I'm talking about pack line zone against his. Let him shoot, man. Hey, he might make some today, but I'm gonna live with Giannis shoot, man. If I'm the coach, I want everybody. I'd rather take a defensive 3 seconds, my guy. Everybody keep your foot in the paint on his ass, but. That's it, my guy. Yeah, I just don't OKC today, man. I can't say I got leans, but it's nothing super strong for me today, man. Tomorrow we probably got, but no, I'm putting some on Philly too, man. And I really hate to be on road teams on Sundays as well. I do think it is one of those where it could favor the home team, in my opinion. I have leans on the Hawks, Knicks, and Magic would be the home teams that I would take, my guys. But yeah, I'm putting some on Philly, and I got some on OKC Thunder, my guys. What you got, bro?
As I made the comment before, some days I'll hone in and really put a lot of money on one team. It's just the absolute lockdown ringer. Not so much today at all. I'm probably going to play 4 or 5 sides smaller. I'm going to be playing the Pelicans at 330. I'm going to be probably playing Detroit plus 1.5. So probably taking the Knicks and the Sixers at -3, and I'm going to go deeper on Cleveland as well. I think those are the top 5 takes. I'm definitely playing the Pelicans at 330, though, for those who want to tail. Let's cash some damn tickets. Let's have a hell of a 7-point Sunday. J Money is money. Sharky Waters Nation, ride the wave or get out of the water. J Money, close it out. My guys, hey, them some sharp. If y'all come on this show, man, y'all gonna get some sharp takes, man. I'm telling you that for sure. Whether it's from me, from my guy, whether you're merging in or something, it's gonna be some sharp takes. We're just teaching guys how to bet, man. Even if we don't have official play on something, we just teach you leans. I know some other people out there like to bet every game or just like tips on it, or you know what I'm saying. What would you be looking at? So we just giving you guys, letting you into our brain for a second, man. But yeah, OKC for me, and I'm putting some on Philly as well. I think the Knicks is the right side as well. Tibbs over there get some revenge, man. I think there's some nice, all of them hovering around that -3. Some tight lines today, my guys. Tight, man. But hey, what's up, my guy knows a guy. Yeah, but we in here, man. We'll be back, man. We'll be back tomorrow. Well, hey, as long as I know you don't. Sometimes you don't go Mondays, bro. But hey, let's do it. I'm in for it. I'm in, bro. Let's. We have what? We have 10 days before the All-Star break. We want to really lock in here in the back end of the first half here. Oh, boy. And, guys, when I tell you after the All-Star break, it is go time. This is just preseason right now. Literally, and that's how some of the players are treating it. Last thing I'll say on that. And then it's workout time. It's crush lifetime. It's eat dinner. It's have a fucking day time. The teams you're going to want to ride after the All-Star break: Dallas, Orlando, Miami.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh, Mal's getting it together as well for sure. Oh yeah, and he already told them, boy, we're gonna talk about it. But for sure, the Heat gonna get back. They'll get back right, man. And they're still missing Bradley. They're still missing Dragic as well. Do not forget, when they get everybody back right, boy, it's gonna be back rolling. We finna get out of here, man. We appreciate y'all for tuning in, man. Hit the like button, subscribe if you can. Please, please, please hit the like button and subscribe to the YouTube, man. We appreciate y'all for tuning in. We'll be back, my guy. NBA Sunday Payday with Shark and the J, man. Y'all know what it is.